Good afternoon, everyone. And let's give our friends just one more minute to come. We will start promptly at 1:15. Okay. Now, please write me in English because I do not understand Hindi. I'm okay with Bengali, but I can't understand Hindi, Shivam. Okay, that's a cute icon you have there. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the translation, Shivam. Yeah, let's start. Okay, so please allow me to start the recording, and I will be giving instructions on our lab today. Once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lab 4 of Software Engineering Lab. And over the week, I have been very happy. I was very happy to see that the teams are posting their use case diagrams and use case description. Okay, so I want to commend you for your enthusiasm and especially request that you cooperate with your team leads. Okay, so team leads, keep up the good work, continue to motivate your team members and have everyone participate in all of the deliverables. Okay, I would like everyone to put in their share of the work from the beginning of the semester so that you can benefit from journeying through the SDLC from the very beginning to the end. Okay, so in this way, you will build a very strong team. Now, today we will be having our reviews in a slightly different fashion. Previously, we had been meeting as a group and we went to the various breakout rooms. Now, from today onwards, we will be meeting with each team in a designated time slot. Okay, so to find the schedule, I've also mailed it to you in the email. Come to the top of the lab page. Okay, beneath the team list, there is a review schedule and it looks like this. Okay, all right, so the instructions, please report as a team. And when you get into the Google Meet session, please report your attendance to your lab instructors. Okay, and whatever that you want to show or you want us to review must already be posted on the wiki. All right, so this ensures that your work is done to a particular standard, right? Enough for publishing on a public web page. Okay, so it must be good enough to be put on the wiki. Then only we will review. All right. So here we have the different teams in the different sessions, in the different sections, excuse me. These are the times. Okay, so I will dismiss you slightly before 2 o'clock so that you can get ready. Now, although you will be meeting with your mentors for 15 minutes, the rest of the time, I expect the team leads to gather your team members, okay? Whether it's going to be in an online meeting, Google Meet or Zoom or whatever you have, or it's going to be done via a phone call, a conference call, okay? I leave it to the teams to organize. So the idea is that Thursday afternoons are put aside for software engineering lab meetings. Okay, so in these meetings, you will work on the various work products, okay, in a collaborative fashion. So you may like to put it on Google Docs so that everyone can see the same thing and can work in parallel. All right. And team leads, I would like you to make sure everyone contributes. Okay. So we do not condone free riders. Free riders are people who do not show up for the entire semester and come to say hello only on demo day. Okay. So to these free riders, we will give free rider grades. All right. So your grade will be according to your contribution. Alrighty. So this is encouragement for everyone to play your part in the team so that the team as a whole can be successful. It is difficult to have a successful project when some team members are not contributing. It affects the entire team morale. So team leads, please encourage all of your teammates. After all, you chose to form a team with your own friends. Okay. All right. So friends and friends should work well together. Alrighty. Okay. So please report accordingly and within those 15 minutes. Today, we would like to review the following. Okay. So back to our main page, and we have our schedule right now. We are running slightly behind time. This is August 27th already. Okay, so we want to look at the problem statement, the solution statement, your use case model. Okay, so today I'll be talking more about the SRS. Okay, alrighty. Now let's take a look at the deliverables for this week. Okay, so if you scroll down to Lab 4. Okay, so in the previous week, we got you guys started on the use case diagram and the use case description. Team leads, as you enter into the review meeting today, please verify your use case diagram first. Because if your use case diagram is incorrect, then it is useless to work on the use case description. All right, team leads, please verify and get your use case diagram approved. Then you can start working on the use case description. So if you have not yet shown the use case diagram to your instructor, I suggest that you work on one particular use case description together, the four of you, so that you have something to show during the review. Okay, so after the review, you can continue working on the other use case descriptions. So for a team of 4 people, okay, to be able to complete the work in one semester, okay, so we are saying that you should have 4 main use cases, okay, plus 2 slightly smaller ones like login and registration. Okay, so the 4 main use cases should embody the primary or the basic functionality of your system. Okay, now I've seen that some teams have gone ahead to envision a very good product. Okay, now in that case, I would advise you to build your product in phases. Okay, in the first phase, I would like you all to build the basic functionality only. So that's version 1. Then in version 2 and version 3, you can add on the other functionalities to further enhance your product. Okay, so in industry, product development is done this way. Okay, you release version 1 first with the basic functionality so that you can have your presence in the market. And then you can get user feedback. Okay, what else would they want? And then you build version 2 with enhanced functionality. Okay, you do not do a big bang release. All right. Okay, so you release basic functionality, test the market, and then add on the other not so well, the other functionalities to enhance your products. Okay, so that's what we would like to do today to review your use case diagram. Now, the reason why we are spending time on the use case diagram and use case description is so that you can have good input into your SRS. Now, the SRS is not done overnight. Okay, you have to progressively add more and more details so that you know and understand sufficiently about your problem domain to write the specification for your system. Therefore, we are helping you and pacing you by requiring you to use the use case model. And today we are going to add more detail, okay, by putting in the UI design. Okay. Now, the detail cannot be gotten by asking the question, hey, what's up? Okay. And if you ask everyone, how are you? Everyone will say, I am well. But if you truly want to know how people are doing, you will ask, okay, how is your father, okay? And do you get enough groceries? Okay, are you doing your homework on time? So you need to ask more probing questions in order to draw out or elicit the details. Therefore, whatever that we are doing right now, whether it's use case description, user interface design, or domain dictionary, these are tools to help draw out the detail so that we have enough information to put on our SRS. Okay. So with this in mind, therefore, you can expect that you will need to go through a couple of reviews before you can get it approved. All right. So with every review, you will add more detail. Okay. And so your instructors will be giving you feedback. So take those feedback constructively, okay, in a positive way. Go back, discuss with your teammates, and do whatever is suggested and add more detail. So in this way, we can expect to pass your use case description maybe next week. And you will work on the SRS only after you have passed your use case description, because there is no point working on the SRS when your use case description and use case model are not stabilized. Okay. All right. So today we will be working on the UI design, and it can be hand drawn. All right. It's okay because we have yet to show you what Java Swing looks like. So you do not have to prototype it. Just hand drawn will be good enough. Okay, and I want to take you a step further in the domain dictionary. Okay, I introduced the idea of domain dictionary in the lectures, and I explained that it contains the key terms or key concepts in your particular domain. So because you have chosen to build different systems, each one of you will have different terms to describe your own problem domain. Okay, so today I'm going to show you some samples from what your seniors have done, and to show you how the use case model is connected to the domain dictionary, is connected to the SRS. So all of these are different views of the same model because they add detail to the same model in different ways. Alrighty. Before I go further, I want to clarify, okay, that some of you have spoken to your seniors and have gotten various kinds of comments and advice, well-meaning advice from your seniors. Now, bear in mind that this course, or rather the curriculum that you are doing as third-year students, is a new one. Okay, and as I've explained to you at the beginning of the course, software engineering is traditionally offered in the 7th semester. Therefore, your 4th-year seniors are doing the same course as you right now in their 7th semester and you in the 5th semester. However, okay, the difference is that in your situation, you are having OOPS together with software engineering. Your seniors already had OOPS in semester 5. For you in semester 5, you are offering software engineering together with OOPS. Therefore, we are twinning the two subject labs, okay, i.e. we will design, okay, the product as well as the test cases in software engineering lab. And we will focus on the design and implementation of the product in OOPS. All right, so therefore, the implementation for OOPS project will necessarily need to be in Java. Okay, you will use Swing for front end, okay, and implement the backend classes in Java. Okay, and because you do not yet have a DBMS class this semester, we will be storing the data in flat files. Now, I do not want to discourage you. Please do not be disappointed. Okay, so I want you to see this as a context to learn about good design principles. And by implementing them in any programming language, you see the effects and the benefits of good design decisions. Okay, so with the same design, you can go on to build it in other platforms using other programming languages. So that's the power of design thinking. Okay, it is portable already. Okay, so of course there are certain constructs that pertain only to certain kinds of programming languages. Okay, but if we are able to abstract it, then the same design ideas can be carried along when you want to implement it in other platforms and frameworks. For instance, if you want to make it online. All right, okay. So because the OOPS lab implementation is a Java executable, okay, so we can kind of simulate it as online by downloading some of the information, putting it on the file, and then your application program reading from the file and displaying to the users for their input. Okay, so in the future, if you want to move it to an Android application, say for web connectivity, okay, you just have to put in the front end. Okay, and the back end, instead of reading from file, you can read straight as a stream from the internet. But the logic, okay, and all of that stuff can be reused if we do our design properly, okay, which is also one of the main objectives of this course as well as OOPS, okay, teaching you good design principles and how to think good design. Already? Okay, so let me go on to what we need to do today. All right, so first of all, how to link the use case model with the UI design. Here I have an example. Okay, all right, so this is the use case diagram, okay, and this team, okay, so this product is to help people to find the lawyers, okay. All right, so they have the client, the lawyer, and some NGOs that are helping out to provide maybe free legal advice. Okay, now as you can see, the use case diagram gives the top level functionality of the system. Okay, now as you draw your use case diagram, I want you to avoid these kinds of crisscrosses. Okay, so learn how to name and how to find the use cases. Okay, so when you draw, I like you to have a simple use case diagram. So do not have this crisscrosses. This feedback use case can be put up here, for instance. Okay, and okay, so we already know that if we want to use the system, we need to log in. So I'd like you to further simplify by, okay, just assuming that there is login, and there is no need to clutter the diagram with these kinds of includes. So I'd like to see use case diagrams that are very simple. Okay, we assume that there is login and there is registration. On the use case diagram, just put in the main functionality. So I'm expecting to see 4 to 6 bubbles like these. Okay, alrighty. So this team did well. Okay, and the reason they did well was because the work products actually flow from one to the other very well. Let me explain. Okay, so let's open up one of these use case description. So I have this search lawyer thingy open. Okay, so this is use case description. All right, so you're familiar with the template already. So to search for the lawyer, okay, so the client actually. So, okay, so name the actor. So client presses the search lawyer button. Now this is the trigger. So this should appear as the trigger because this starts the whole flow of events. All right, so notice the actor system interchange. Okay, so they are communicating in this way. So the system displays a page with the different categories. Okay, so the client selects the required category. Now let me just max this a little bit. Yeah, this is better. Okay, all right. And so once the client clicks on the category, then the system displays the lawyers in alphabetical order. Okay, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, how does this get translated into the SRS? Okay, so in the SRS, once you have sufficient detail in the use case description, you would pick up all the system related statements, okay, and transfer them into the SRS functional requirements. Okay, so this is their SRS, and in the search functionality, functional requirement specification, you see that they have lifted the whatever the system is doing into the SRS. After all, the SRS stands for system requirement or software requirement specification, what the system needs to do. So therefore, pick up the description from the use case description, whatever the system needs to do, put them into your SRS. So therefore, it is related because the use case description feeds into the SRS. Okay, all right. Now, I want to show you also how they did the UI. Okay, all right. So from here in the UI, you see that the pages you will need to provide. Hold on. Okay, so how to find the lawyer? Okay. Yeah, the categories right here. Okay, all right. So here is the find lawyer information thereabouts. Okay, all right. So in this way, when you are writing your use case description, if you have your UI by your side, you can actually better envision the flow of events. Okay, now let me give you another example. Okay, so here's another team, and their project is to do like tram tickets. Okay, so the passenger wants to book some tickets and so on and so forth. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at their use case description. So I have book unreserved tickets or something. So let me show it to you. Let's see, use case description. Let's do this one. Okay, so book special tickets. All right, so here, okay, again, the trigger is when the passenger clicks on the special booking button. All right, so next step, okay, the system displays the booking option. Next step, okay, the actor, meaning the passenger, selects, then the system asks for the details. Now look at this. Okay, the system asks for the following details. Now, how do you get this information? Okay, all right. You will not get it at first pass. You will get it only when you start thinking of the UI. Now take a look at the UI design. Okay, so if you look at the way that they are done, okay, the special ticket, now where is it? Okay, special pass. All right. Do not be afraid because your seniors did this over a few weeks. Okay, so it's not over one day. All right, so as you gradually add more and more detail, you too will find these UI pages on your team wiki. Okay, so do it systematically, and when you look back, you will be astonished at how much you have done. All right, so this special pass booking form is over here. Okay, now let me just move it over slightly. Okay, all right. So you will see the details here. Okay. Now I'm asking for a hand-drawn screen, all right, for a start. It's okay because what we want to know right now is the kind of detail to expect. All right. Okay. So with this detail, then only they were able to write this much of information in the use case description. It's okay that you don't have it right now. Okay. After your first review, go back and add the detail for your second pass. All right. And with sufficient detail, you will be able to get the approval to go on to your SRS. Okay. All right. There we go. So that's how you arrive at the details, okay, by having some UI description, sketch your UI. So this information will eventually be transferred into the SRS. Now look, okay, this is the team's SRS, book special pass. Okay, so the heading corresponds with the functionality with the use case name. All right, okay, and so on and so forth. All right, so the details will be cut and pasted from the use case description into the SRS eventually. All right, so another quickie. Here's another team. Okay, so this team wants to do, oh, sorry, let me go back here. I meant to show you the domain dictionary. Okay, all right, so here we have the domain dictionary. And as I explained, the domain dictionary shows the important ideas. So for a tram ticket booking system, okay, so they need to say what a tram is. So the tram, okay, I know it moves along the road on the rails, okay, but apart from that, important to the system would be the kind of data embodied by a tram. Route ID, okay, AC, non-AC, source, destination, okay. So it's not just a tram that's moving on the road. In your system, you need to define the tram in this fashion. Now, what is a special pass? The pass is not a piece of paper, not a ticket. Okay, you must have date, time, purpose, okay, and facilities, so on and so forth. Okay, all right. Passenger. What is a passenger? Okay, name. Okay, it has a number of people accompanying. All right. So this is special pertaining to just this particular tram ticket booking system, because ordinarily a passenger means a person. At most you get his name, maybe his fare, his boarding station, blah, blah. Okay, but this is a specialized kind of understanding because it pertains to your domain. So therefore, we need a data dictionary to understand this. Now, how do you get this kind of detail? Again, from the UI design, because when you sketch your page, you will start thinking about what data you want to provide. And so this is the data that will be stored in the database. Now, if you look at it, this will be the ticket table in your database. And in this ticket table, you will have columns like source, destination, date of ticket issue, and fare. All right. So we're trying to derive the data that is being stored in your database. Now, this I explained to you in the OOPS class yesterday. All right. From the data dictionary, we derive the main concepts, and these main concepts will eventually find its way to persistence, whether in database or in the file system, because this is the data that will be moving around in our system, okay, between the users, okay, and external systems like that. Okay, all right, so very quickly now, here's another one. Okay, so this is about donating food. Okay, so the NGO picks up the food from the donating restaurants. Let me quickly show you the data dictionary. Okay, so in the data dictionary, okay, they define what food is. Okay, so food is not any ordinary food. They handle veg food and non-veg halal food, like that. So how do you get this detail? Okay, it appears on their UI. Let me show you. So in the UI, when people donate the food, okay, you will see the option. It's a drop-down box. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay, so the food donor will need to select the kind of food served. It's a drop-down box, veg, non-veg, halal, and so on. Okay, so this is how you are able to come to this kind of detail. Okay, where is the food now? Okay, like this. All right. Okay. All right. So you would do the same thing today. Okay. As you show your use case and use case description to your mentors. Okay. All right. So you will continue to add detail to your use case model with the UI design and the domain dictionary. Okay. All right. So if you do this well, by the next lab, if we approve your use case description, you may go on to work on the SRS. Okay. Now, once you have the SRS ready, then we can talk about data flow diagrams. Data flow diagrams help us to envisage the input data, the transformation of the input data, and the output data. Okay, so this will help us to better understand our system. Okay, so DFD up next. I've also mentioned to you that we would want to take a checkpoint with your SRS submission, meaning that we would like to give some CA marks on the SRS since it is an important milestone in the SDLC. The reason why it's important is that the SRS is the output from the requirement specification phase. It is the input to the design phase. So therefore, we want to have a checkpoint to make sure that the SRS is well done before moving downstream to the design activities. Because if the SRS were not well done, then the downstream work products will also be of bad quality. Therefore, we want to check that it is properly done before we allow you to go on with the SDLC. All right. Okay. So for today, all right, do the review and all of this stuff we'll look at in the next week. Now, team leads, yeah, so we need you to gather your team members. Okay, so so we encourage you to use Thursday afternoon for the lab work. Okay, assign work to people and people can work together in a collaborative fashion. Okay, so if people are unable to meet, then you may make some alternative arrangements. Okay, all right, so we want to give you the freedom, yet at the same time, we want you to be responsible for keeping up with the course schedule. We do not want anyone to be left behind. So if any of your teammates have problem logging in and so on, please call them on the phone so that at least they know what's going on and they can participate in your discussion. Alrighty. Okay, so, okay, all right. So let me just reiterate. So today, please get the approval for your use case diagram, okay? And the use case descriptions also needs approval, all right? So you probably will not have sufficient detail in your first review, okay? So we want you to come back again to show us the use case description next week with more detail. How do you get more detail? Start thinking about your UI design, sketch the screens, okay? And as you sketch the screens, okay, start collecting the terms in your domain dictionary. Your domain dictionary contains the important ideas and the data that will be persisted in your system. Okay, all right, so we are expecting hand-drawn sketches, okay, and domain dictionary with the term itself as well as its underlying data fields. Okay, I'm going to stop the briefing right now and ask if you have any questions. So please write me in the chat box, okay, if you have questions. Yes, so let me have your questions. Pinaki sir and Opon sir are also in this meeting. So, okay, they would want to know what kinds of queries you have. Yes, please let me have your questions. Okay. Right. Let's see now. Okay. I'm gonna just display the schedule so that you know what time you have to show up for your meeting. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. Now, I would like all of you to edit only your own page. Okay. Last week there was some hanky-panky going on, and people were doing up their friends' web pages. Okay. Now, this will not be condoned. Okay. I can see from the user log who did what. All right. So please change your passwords so that other people cannot masquerade as you to do any hanky-panky. All right. Now, in our years doing the design lab for your seniors, we have done this for almost 7 years now, I think with Professor Pinaki. So we've never had a situation where classmates would do hanky-panky on their friends' pages. Okay, now this is very bad. Okay, I want there to be trust amongst us all since we are learning together. So do not sabotage this trust because we are entrusting the success of our course to all of us here. Okay, all right. So this is not the place to be funny. Okay, I appreciate intelligent jokes. Okay, and I look forward to having good input from you guys. Responsible input coming from software engineers, not pranks. Okay, all right. If there's a question, so please write me in the chat box. Okay, if there are no further questions, then I would dismiss you. It is 1:50 right now. Okay, hold on. There's a question that came in. Yeah. Okay, so Ankita, you can look at some of the samples here. You can play back, okay, like this. Okay, actor system, actor system. I have explained how to work the basic flow in the lectures. Okay, I talked about it also last week. Okay, so I'm just showing you more and more samples so that you are comfortable with this style of writing. And please find out from your teammates if you happen to miss it. Okay, all right. Not to worry if the network keeps breaking. Okay, so go to your meeting with your teammates as well as with your lab instructors. Okay, so we'll be able to guide you that way. All right. Okay. Now, team leads, it is important that you include all your team members. Okay, and especially for people who do not have good internet connection, I would like you to call them. Okay, please call them and find out how they are doing and get them on board. Okay, now if you understand the essence of how to write a use case description basic flow, then there is no need for me to send you the samples. I need you to understand how to do it. After all, the content will be different because you are building different systems. Okay, so in the basic flow, all you need to do is to do it actor, system, interchangeably. Okay, about 6 to 8 steps, actor, system, like that. And in your description, mention the data and mention also the kind of data that is going to appear on your UI. That's all. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there is no need for me to send you any samples. You write your own. Okay. There we go. Okay, so yikes, this is sorry. This is a SRS. Let me give you the, oh, sorry, I'm not able to change it. Okay, hold on. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna dismiss you all so that you can go to meet your respective mentors. Okay. Other questions? Okay. All right. Yeah. So there's no further questions, then please feel free to leave, take a break. Now it's important to take breaks because, okay, I do not want you to strain your eyes. Okay, so do not strain your eyes, and take a break and take a breather, because you cannot be online the whole day. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, please go now. Yeah. So Pinaki sir and Opon sir and myself will be meeting you starting from 2. Okay. So the first team, please get ready to come online, and we expect you to share your screens. Okay. So that we can go through whatever you have posted on your wiki. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead with that. All right, you may leave now. Please take a break and report according to the schedule. Okay. All right. If there be any other admin or logistic related matters, team leads, please write me an email. Okay, so that I can get it fixed. Already. Okay. So teams that are coming to meet us later in the afternoon, you have some time to populate your wiki, as well as to dress up your use case description a little more. Okay. All right. So that's it. Yeah. Please take a break, and we will see the first teams at 2 o'clock in Google Meet. All right. Thank you. Please leave now.